Let's get Yurified.
Well, the time is finally upon us. After a long seasonal drought, looks like we're finally gonna get back into the swing of things with a wet and wild Yuri season. I'm talking, of course, about Fall 2023. And whoo-wee, do we got some splendid sights to show you. Now, if you saw my Spring 2023 Let's Talk Yuri video, you'll pretty much know how this thing will be structured. If not, very quickly, I'll be going through each and every Yuri and potential Yuri anime airing this season, what they're all about, and my own 2 cents about them. And speaking of that, I just want to preface this by saying that I've not read any of the mangas or light novels affiliated with the following animes in this video. Call it a tragic twist of fate, I suppose. But yeah, I'm essentially going in blind. So to all the manga fans of the series out there, please don't burn me at the stake. Oh, and no spoilers too, please. That'd be even worse. Alright, let's get started. So first on our list is without a doubt many people's hype Yuri anime of the season. It's I'm in Love with the Villainess. And like many other isekai anime, it tells you exactly what kind of show you're getting right off rip. The only difference is that the title isn't 5 sentences long. So as you'd expect, the protagonist of our story, Rei Ohashi, suddenly dies but doesn't go to heaven. Instead, she finds herself in the body of the protagonist of her favorite video game, where she then meets her fictional love interest, Claire Francois. Never mind, I guess she did go to heaven. So with her new identity as Ray Taylor, she attempts to seduce the object of her affection. However, as the title implies, a villainess has got a villainess, which means Claire acts less than stellar to our peppy heroine, even being quite perturbed by Ray's extreme investment in her. But if you watched even a single romantic comedy, you'll know exactly how things will go between them. Plus, she seems to be a total tsundere, so the writing is even clearer on the wall. Now right off the bat, I can't help but think of another isekai series with a similar premise. No, not the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's my next life as a villainess. The biggest difference being that the main characters of each series are in the opposite roles, protagonist, antagonist, and their love interest being the antagonist and protagonist respectively as well. The question is, will this anime differentiate itself from its peers? Now speaking as someone who has watched a fair amount of isekai anime in my time, I regretfully must confess that my entire viewing experience combined has been in the ballpark of, it's alright, but not great. I also can't help but feel like the formula is becoming the equivalent of stale bread. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a running joke in the isekai genre at this point, but I can't say for certain. All I know is that there are definitely isekai anime out there that I'll never watch. But anyway, my point is that I'm really hoping that I can watch an isekai that strays away from the usual tropes and contains all the markings of a great show. Great characterization, great writing, great structure, great twists and turns, greatness all around. Now, it might be a bit unfair to expect all these things from Villainess, but given what we have to work with here, I suppose at the very least, it should be an entertainingly fun romantic comedy. And if it can do that, and not screw anything else up, then I'd say it has done its job. Also, I'm not too worried about them screwing up the Yuri, and this is coming from someone who hasn't read the manga or light novels. Something tells me that the Yuri aspect won't be sitting in the back seat. In fact, it's probably gonna take the wheel and drive straight into a space rainbow. I don't know what that means, but it sounds pretty gay. So, moving on, we have an anime called Stardust Telepath, which looks to be the obligatory cute begins a wonderful friendship between 2 unlikely individuals. Now, I can't stress enough how much I adore these simple, cute girls doing cute things premises. They're essentially my bread and butter in the Yuri genre, and Telepath looks like it fits that mold on every level. Cute girls? Check. If I can be slightly sentimental, Gareth, for a second, I suspect that this anime will lean heavily on the values of friendship, overcoming your shortcomings, and even self-discovery. Again, I haven't read the manga, just using my best judgment. So yeah, not much else to say about it, other than the fact that it's being animated by Studio Gokumi, which you probably know has given us many wonderful slice-of-life Yuri anime in the past. So I'm pretty confident that we'll be in good hands with this one. Alright, next we have something called the Vexations of a Shut-In Vampire Princess. And I don't want to speak too early, but this may be my hypest anime of the season. No particular reason. So what's the story here? Well, it stars the titular Komori Gainsblood. And after 3 years of being in self-imposed hibernation, she awakens and suddenly finds herself forced to command an entire army against some battle-hardened enemy forces. The problems don't stop there for our dear little Daywalker. Her army consists of nothing but hooligans and ne'er-do-wells. She has next to no magic proficiency due to her refusal to drink blood, and on top of all that, there's a crazy hot chick out to kill her at all costs. But that's all dressing, you see. What really matters is the important story between an adorably pitiful little vampire princess and her always loyal and always thirsty obsessive caretaker. Now, I don't want to speak too early again, but something tells me that Komori's personal maid and second protagonist of the show, Villainess, will be the MVP of the season. No particular reason. Now, judging everything on the trailer so far, everything about them screams absolute yes to me. There looks to be plenty of drama and intrigue, adorable comedic moments, magical vampire action up the wazoo, and so much Yuri that it makes my molecules tingle with excitement. Not to mention an entire cast of cute and sexy vampires duking it out. Sign me up. It's just like Twilight, but probably not as funny. So it looks like there'll be a lot to expect from this anime, with a ton of things to cover. I can barely contain my excitement as we see what kind of adventure awaits our two lovely heroines. Perhaps a wacky, heartfelt, action-packed, and somewhat lewd adventure. Time will only tell. Also, I just want to make a quick shout out to the amazing Kusunoki Tomori, who will be voicing our vampiric princess. The OG Yuki Setsuna herself will be gracing us with her magnificent presence by voicing another small cutie pie. And FYI, I'm probably gonna make a habit of mentioning actors who have voiced the main Love Live girls, especially one of such high esteem and talent like Miss Kusunoki. Call me. So our next anime is actually a movie from a series I previously mentioned. It's My Next Life as a Villainess, the movie. Now, as I'm recording this, there is still no plot synopsis for this film, so I'm just gonna have to glean what I can from the trailers and provide baseless speculations. I mean, that's what you're here for, right? Also, since I'll be talking about an established anime with 2 whole seasons, obviously there will be some spoilers, so skip to the next chapter if you haven't watched it, or just don't care. So my memory on the detail of events are a bit fuzzy, but from what I can recall from the end of season 2, is that our favorite polyamorous harem protagonist Katarina somehow managed to graduate from an academic establishment and is planning to head to a new one called the Department of Magic. And of course, she's accompanied by none other than Maria, just in case you forgot who her #1 suitor is. That's right, fight me, bro! So the season ends with a to be continued kind of thing, where Katarina meets some fellow classmates that she knows are potential love interests in the game. Basically, her days of womanizing new suitors are not over yet. So unfortunately, based on the trailers too, it looks like the gap between the male to female ratio in her harem is going to widen. Yep, the boys are definitely smoking the girls in batting average so far. But yeah, looks like we got some new characters. And maybe even that weird no-good evil lady will show up again as the main antagonist, whatever her name was. Also, apparently this movie is a completely original story, not seen in the light novel or manga. So I guess it's a possibility that it may not follow what happens right after the events of season 2, like it being a proper sequel to it. I don't know. The point is that we're gonna see another wacky, love-filled adventure featuring Katarina, her harem, and her 5 brain cells. And if it means that the ladies of her harem can get more time to shine, then that's A-okay in my book. Not to mention, this would be a perfect opportunity to sneak in a kiss on the girls' side. We're 2-0 for Christ's sake. Come on, ladies, step up your game. Okay, now our next anime is a bit of a shot in the dark, but I'm fairly confident that there's gonna be Yuri in it to some extent. It's called The Family Circumstances of the Mismatched Witches. Yep, so the story is a petite witch named Alyssa finds an abandoned baby in the forest one day, who she adopts and names Viola. 16 years later, Viola has grown into a well-endowed young lady and followed in her mother's footsteps as a fellow witch. And bingo bango bongo, the rest of the anime focuses on their quirky misadventures as a pair of mother-daughter witches, hence the title. So, the first thing I have to say about this right off the bat is yes, the animation's not exactly top quality stuff. Also, based on that and the overall vibe I'm getting from the trailers, I suspect that the episodes will probably be on the short side too. My fear is that we might be getting a Tachibanakan situation, where the anime becomes severely condensed and very little effort and production is put into making this project. I mean, I can't speak too much on the quality of the manga, since I haven't read it, unlike Tachibanakan, which wasn't the greatest, but at least is infinitely better than the anime. So we're gonna have to see if Mismatched Witches hits the mark, or fails spectacularly. One or the other. Anyway, as for the Yuri, I get the feeling that it'll mainly occur in bits of fan service between our 2 leads, which, by the way, they aren't blood related. Just a reminder. Hopefully we can get a little more than that, like maybe a sweet moment between them, affirming their familial bond or something. Not sexually, just in an I'll always love you sort of way. I mean, that's always good stuff, right? Alright, so to end this list off, I'm gonna do a quick fire round on some anime that are much more dubious when it comes to the Yuri, and that I have less than no personal investments in, so I guess that should be fun. First off, we're getting another season of the inexplicably popular Musume series. This time, the stars of the show will be horse girls Kita-san Black and Satano Diamond, who first debuted in season 2. And as you'd expect, they'll be doing the whole horse racing thing again, because doing anything else would be an affront on their existence. Oh yeah, and Kita-san is voiced by Hinaki Yano, who also voices the Great Takasaki Yu from Nijigasaki. You thought I'd forget, did ya? Anyway, long story short, there will probably be some cute shipping moments between our two new leads, and maybe some between our legacy characters as well if we're lucky. In any case, my one major hope is that it does something different that sets it apart from the previous 2 seasons. I know I said the same thing about the ONA in my last Let's Talk Yuri video, but in all honesty, I think a change in the formula would be a huge benefit, as opposed to another copy and paste plot from the previous season. Okay, now the next 3 anime are completely outside my field of knowledge, but I do know that they are popular among Yuri's shipping circles. So the first is Kibou no Chikare, Otana Precure 23. Obviously, this is from the long-established Precure Magical Girl anime series. Again, Gareth don't know, but I have seen a lot of Yuri fan art of the characters, and I think that I heard that it does have some legit Yuri in it to some extent. I would love to be proven right about that. But yeah, it looks like this anime will feature some of the characters as adults now, which might be my first time seeing that from magical girls. Usually it's a Peter Pan situation. Anyway, lastly, we have some Idolmaster anime. One called Million Live, and the other Shiny Colors, which I guess means something. But yeah, the premise is some idols do some idling stuff, and just like Precure, there's a crap ton of anime under this series, as well as some Yuri buzz around it. I mean, at this point, magical girls and idols have pretty much become the precursors to Yuri, so it's no wonder that they made a bit of a name for themselves in the shipping community. So yeah, not much else to say about them, other than the characters are cute, they sound nice, and there's a lot of them. And that's exactly the kind of high-end commentary you can expect from this channel. So there we go. That's all the Yuri anime we can expect for fall 2023, or at least all that I'm aware of. Suffice to say, this is easily the most impressive season of the year, so get super hyped, y'all. As per usual, I'll cover any of the prior anime that interests me on this channel, so if you like thoughtful discussions and pointless speculations of your favorite Yuri anime, you know where to go. Anyway, that about wraps it up. See you soon.